So all of a sudden, I was a director also overseeing, 15 maybe then sister cities. And of course, with the visitors coming in from these cities, I was immediately involved in international relations. Jeanette Williams was very active in setting up the Chongqing sister city, and the committee in formation officially requested a coastal city because the Port of Seattle was involved in this with the growing ties to China. But the choice of Chongqing was an assignment by the government in Beijing. So it was not what was requested, and I have to admit at the beginning there was a little bit of disappointment, although that sort of faded away when people realized that Chongqing was an important city, and it was also a fairly active river port. But at that time, the Chongqing government had expectations for the sister city program that far exceeded what Seattle would do with an assignment to a citizen committee. So, and of course, then in Chongqing, the relationship was essentially managed out of the city hall. So after about a year, the mayor of Chongqing sent a representative to Seattle and said that they weren't happy with the activity of the relationship, and would Mayor Royer please send a representative to Chongqing to negotiate, develop essentially a work plan of activity. So Mayor Royer asked me to go and figure out what to do. They had a list of things they wanted, and I was taken around to and tour various sites, and I was trying to think what were the quid pro quo, what could we get from Chongqing? And one of the things they took me to was the garden. And I had been involved a bit with the Kubota Gardens being acquired by the city, and some stuff for the Japanese garden. And since I was involved with the zoo, the Rose Garden out there, which is kind of English. And so I started thinking about Seattle as a city of international gardens, which sort of fit our culture. And so I put into the agreement to explore a Chinese garden in Seattle. They had 3 of the most complete dinosaur skeletons in the world, and that became the Chinosaurs at the Burke Museum. We got the golden monkeys at the zoo. So a number of things, in fact, a wide range of things that were in that original agreement were in fact implemented. As relations with a particular country become at the national level more strained, the people-to-people relationship actually probably becomes more important. And I think it's important, people-to-people is to say that the more you know about another culture and another society, the less there's would be animosity build up among the people. And where the garden fits is essentially the garden is really a spotlight on Chinese culture, a place, if we ever got a hosting place done out there, where they could bring a delegation for a dinner or a Chinese dignitary for a reception, it really would become an asset to our business community and, for that matter, government people that came from China to Seattle. So I always thought the business connection was important. When the garden was sort of recruited by the South Campus, the community college, I thought that made a lot of sense because their horticultural programs were there. The thought I had would be a chance for the college not only to use it with international students from China, but also the chance for horticultural students to learn an Asian garden, to work in it. The Chinese community having an asset like that in Seattle, given the size of our Chinese community in this region, is really important because, again, it is a place for their culture. I think for the average person who likes China, like us, it's important, but also I think, again, it gets back to people learning about China. And, the more that this can be grown and embellished, it becomes a place where Seattle has something to teach and learn about Chinese culture.